Hello and welcome to Elevate Your Inner Peace. I am Lynette Ferguson and I am here with Jaime Beasley, Lynn Sabulski, and Jeanette Johnson. And we are going to be letting it fly today. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things, and we're going to start actually with introductions. So I'm Lynette Ferguson, and I am an energy healer and past life regressionist, and I am Elevate Your Health Vibe. And let's go to Jaime. Jaime, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Jaime Beasley, and I am a intuitive. I am a energy healer and a spirit communicator, and I am with Inner Peace Reiki and readings.
Very good. Lynn?
My name is Lynn Sabulski, and I am a tarot reader at footnotestarot.com, intuitive, and I dabble in other stuff as it shows up.
And Jeanette?
I am an astrologer since the year 2000. I do astrology intuitively. I know a lot of good and old new techniques, but let's just say jack of all trades, astrologically.
And where can you be found?
Denora Johnson Astrology.
Very good. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Lynn, the other day you pulled a reading for us for our session today, and you're going to start us off, and we'll go from there.
Okie doke. So the deck that I have here is the Fountain Tarot. So I'll just show you the cards that came up. The first two cards that came up are the Seven of Swords and the Four of Cups. And what these two cards are talking about is the intersection of um, bad habits or bad choices that we have and how that has taken away our time. So, for instance, this Four of Cups can talk about things like substance abuse, addictions, work addictions, various forms of escapism. And those things are like things that we own. This Seven of Swords is saying there's something I wanted to do and haven't gotten to do yet, and my time has been stolen, and it's been stolen by these things either because I didn't or couldn't manage them. The next three cards show an emotional cycle. We have a reversed Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is our happy place. This can be anything from, I go to the bar, I go to the bookstore, I meet my friends, I go to parties. There was something that made me happy, and I don't have access to it anymore. And I have this strong feeling, Ace of Wands, that I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to be taking action. And I don't know what that action is. And I'm kind of feeling low, so I'm not really in my best energy place for feeling what is it that I'm supposed to be doing. And boy, is that making me anxious. Nine of Swords. This is the card that says somebody can't sleep at night because the thought wheel just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. And this is a feedback loop that people are caught in. The next two cards are the Seven of Coins or Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is a decision. There's some sort of decision that has to be made. And the Seven of Pentacles can be anything that is a change in a financial situation. It can be a new job, it can be a hobby, it can be a financial arrangement that needs to be begun or finished that changes the financial picture, and there are decisions that need to be made around that. And ultimately, our homework card is the Queen of Cups. In other words, show ourselves some compassion, show ourselves some grace, be patient with ourselves. Cups are emotions, and so acknowledging those emotions and processing them is the way to get ourselves unstuck. So that
Got
is the tarot portion of our podcast.
And if you were to summarize that, what would you summarize that as? Like, as far as a collective energy that you're picking up?
The collective energy I'm picking up is definitely a shift. It is oh my gosh, time has really and truly run out shift. and I need to either take the action now that I've been avoiding, that I've been kind of sort of doing, that I've been trying to put off until later, later, later. Like we can't procrastinate anymore. The moment is now. And it has this emotional heaviness where people have to really look in the eyes the way that they have been their own undoings or the ways that they
Mhm.
have prevented themselves from the self-actualization, and now saying, okay, I'm going to sit with that. It doesn't feel good, but I need to own it before I can overcome it. And then with the idea that the future can be the moment of overcoming.
Interesting. So it almost goes into what we were talking about earlier before we got started. Jamie, when you were talking about this consistent theme that's coming up with the clients that you're seeing with people's like this year being just a big shift in energies for people and things ending. And I have to say that that is actually consistent with what I'm hearing is we're in a 9 year, which is a year of endings, right? And so I think that's all like it's all you know it's all right there, right? And so you're reading, and then what Jamie, do you want to kind of recap what you were saying earlier?
Yeah. So this year, from what I've seen energetically for people that I've been working on, is a year of change, of letting go what no longer serves us.
Mhm.
And this has been a very, very challenging, somewhat, I guess, painful year. Difficult year for some people because change is not always easy, but without change, you don't have growth. And so when we're being pushed, when we're being pushed out of the situation that we're in, it's because there's more that we need to be doing. There's experiences that we're not having. There's lessons that we're not learning because we're stuck in a particular pattern, or we're stuck in a situation, and it no matter how uncomfortable the situation is, it's hard for some of us to move through it, to get out of it, or to change. And so the one thing that I've consistently been seeing is energetically, it doesn't matter whether it's a situation with a job or a relationship. Um, I see the energy closing in on people where it's starting to become feeling confined. And it's doing that on purpose to make them uncomfortable so that they want out of that situation. And it's because we need to move through that, and we need to have that growth this year. And the other piece is I see where what it's pushing us towards is finding our passion, connecting. It's not doing the things we're taught a certain way. Like this is what you do as a responsible adult. And this is the path that you go down. And it's usually whatever is the most responsible thing, but it's not always the thing that's self-serving. It's not always the thing that brings us happiness or we feel passionate about. And that is what's really, really coming out when I'm doing these readings or Reiki sessions is we're being pushed towards things that we are passionate about, things that bring out our creative side. Wow, that's been huge this year, is for people to, especially like analytical and more, they want us to go with the flow, and they want us to connect with an energy that uplifts us, that grounds us, that connects us with our passion. So this year, this kind of like this overarching theme so far this year that I've seen is us moving out of things that we feel that we're doing out of obligation and moving towards things that fulfill us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does that align with what you were getting, Lynn?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
I could concur on that. I mean, we were saying before, Pluto went into Aquarius for good, I think a year ago. So basically, during the Pluto in Capricorn, which was the past 13 years before that, it was just about like hard work, solid structure. Now, with the age of Aquarius on us, with Pluto in Aquarius, it's thinking ahead. Where do I want to be? What does my soul want? Not what do I want to do? And there is a big difference. It's seeing ahead. We had Jupiter and Gemini earlier this year, so there was like, the good with the bad, but we were kind of on edge until around, I believe it was like May or something. Jupiter went into Cancer, and then there was just more of like a flow of like where things just happened if we let it. And this letting go and like letting the universe kind of guide us. And like Jamie was saying, if you're stuck where you are, it's like the universe is going to force you to move forward because it's not just about our day-to-day structure anymore. It's like, where do we want our souls to evolve to? And we're very aware of that on a deeper level. Right now, Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces is a sign of spirituality, and Saturn is our karma. And he's stationing to go direct this week. So with Saturn, I was talking to Lynn about it earlier today. Like a lot of people are really tired lately because Pisces just loves to sleep and Saturn is in Pisces, so it feels like we're struggling to like get that extra energy lately. So he's going direct, I believe, the 27th. And then, once he does that, he's leaving the sign of Pisces for good and then he's going to go into Aries. So it's like endings, 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 and then new beginnings. And that's basically the theme of the end of this year to early next year. This year, we are ending things. It was very uncomfortable for us this year because it was just about the ending that isn't working and the new beginning that we need to go towards.
Interesting.
And one other thing I want to add is this wasn't all about us individually. What I got intuitively is the more that we connect with our purpose, our passion, the more it collectively raises the vibration, the more that it collectively raises the vibration of the earth, right? This feels like it's so much bigger than us now. This is not just about us anymore.
Pluto and Aquarius, I believe that's about the collective. It's about the one soul of the earth moving
Yeah.
into a new direction. What direction that is. I mean, we've always been at war. There's always been struggle, and there will always be like, a dark side to life. But I feel like it's more about letting the light in and letting the light guide us. And there's gonna be souls that are just drawn to this way, like doing my soul's purpose instead of like filling a void or just doing what I'm doing for today. It's like, where do I want my soul to go? Not just where do I want my life to go? That's a big theme. Uranus right now. So Uranus is where we want to rebel, and he's retrograde in Taurus. And Taurus is a sign that likes the status quo. So even though we feel the need to change, we feel a little bit of status quo right now too. It's like a weird mix. It's like, well, this isn't working, but I don't see that new door that's gonna open. So he goes into Gemini end of April. So there's going to be a little bit of we feel a little stuck, but the other planets are going to move us forward. Neptune, which is a sign of our dreams, is going from Pisces, the dreamer, to Aries, the doer, end of January. So if you have a New Year's resolution, you're probably actually going to do it this year. Saturn going into Aries. Saturn is a sign of karma. Saturn is your soul's purpose. He also goes from Pisces, the dreamer, to Aries. I'm at the beginning again. So a lot of us are going to feel like we're living our lives for the first time around the beginning of next year, it's gonna be a little weird, but it's gonna be welcoming. The same way this year was a little weird. It was like, gee, this year's a little bit different. Like there's a shift. Like I feel like I'm being pushed forward. I'm not just doing it. Like it's being done with me, not just to me. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I was just telling Lynette earlier, I said, intuitively, I've been getting that come January, like it just feels like I can't see yet what it is, but there's going to be like a major shift. It's going to change. Like next year is going to be different, and like January, I feel like it's going to be like we're going to hit the ground running. I don't know where we're running to or towards. I just know that come January, that energy, that momentum is gonna, like, it feels sleepy and like almost like you're like moving through kind of like mud right now, right? Where it's like you're not moving really fast, and then I feel like January, like the gate opens up.
I was gonna say it's like waking up out of a dream. It's almost like we've been asleep our whole lives, kind of like, okay, I'm doing what my body wants to do. I'm doing what my life needs to do to be practical, but then it's going to be like a soul awakening and you're more aware of like your fifth dimensional self and like what that needs to be doing. So like I said, first it will be Neptune. We all wake from this dream and we see our life for what it is. And it's like, well, is this what I want? Or do I want something more? And taking more action on it versus more, I wish, I hope. It's going to be more of I do, I will.
I agree.
So what I was talking about with Lynette earlier too, sometimes to move forward in life, because we have all these shifts next year moving us forward. We have Neptune in Aries, we have Saturn in Aries, Jupiter in Cancer, which is your guardian angel, which is luck. He's going direct in March. I mean, we have all the planets moving us forward. But I know if you have certain blockages like unhealed trauma or PTSD or childhood trauma especially, it's very hard to move forward even when there are planetary shifts. Like the universe might be ready and you might be ready on some level, but if you don't heal those old wounds, you accidentally carry them with you. Lynette, maybe you could talk about that a little bit more because I think that's more your area of expertise.
Yeah, I mean that's what I spend a lot of my time doing is helping people release those emotions and dealing with those traumas and all of that stuff. I mean, Jamie does too, right? So we both do it just kind of from different angles. Like I'm doing it using the techniques that I do, doing emotional release. She does it using Reiki and like intuitive and so I think we're both finding that I think even just but like with each other, right? Like that we're encountering these same energies, right? Like this is we're not immune to all of these shifts in the energetic field that are pushing these energies up to the surface to be dealt with. I know for my clients, they're certainly feeling it, and I know Jamie's clients are feeling it too. And so it's just we people are guided to the people that can help them, right? And so sometimes people are guided to her and sometimes they're guided to me. And then I send a lot of people over to Jamie and she sends people to me. We just kind of send people back and forth because we kind of do different things, but we're both impacting similar energies, right? So moving those really dense energies out of the body so that people feel lighter, right? And they feel better and they can handle life better and they can make these shifts, right? Because I mean, we're all being prompted to do that. We're all being prompted to ditch what's no longer serving us so that we can be prepared to go into what we are here to do, right? And even if it's just like the next phase of life, and raising our vibration, obviously the vibration of the planet is rising as, we were talking about earlier, and so we are part of Earth, right? And so we're feeling those vibrations from Earth, and it's all getting pushed to the surface. It's getting pushed to the surface for Gaia, which is why all the land, masses are shifting, the volcanoes and earthquakes and everything else. That's her releasing and purging those energies. We're doing the same exact thing, right? So, and I know Jamie, you've got a lot of insight around all that kind of stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I pick up, I'm very, very connected to Gaia. So like when the earth is going through something, I can feel it. I've even told Lanette before, I've seen where she's almost like a wet dog, like shaking, like where they try to shake all the water off of them. And I've seen the earth do this where she's like trying to shake off this energy. She's trying like to make herself lighter, right? And where when we're these everything like the strong wind, the earthquakes, the volcanoes, these are all, it's purging. It's just purging this energy. It's the same way as if we cry or we yell or whatever we do to release our energy. She's got to do the same thing. She's got to shake that off too. So, and there's a lot. That's I mean, unfortunately, that's we're going to get more of that. We're getting more of that, and it's getting more intense. But it's because she's trying so hard to raise her vibration, and us healing and us raising our vibration helps her. It helps her to feel lighter as well.
Yep.
I mean, that's Saturn and Pisces. Pisces, how do Pisces release things? It's water, you cry. But it's also about a lot of forgiveness. I feel like it's hard for people to forgive, and I feel like a lot of old wounds we have to let go to move forward.
Hmm.
And when you all the emotions come up and you cry it out, a lot of things come up that you weren't ready for. So being able to forgive and let go, like I said, Saturn leaving the last sign of the zodiac, we are letting it go. Anything like Jamie said that is no longer serving us, like it will leave. So it's best to make an effort to release it and go with that than to hold on to trauma or tension that just isn't serving us anymore.
Yep.
And that is something else that has been a consistent theme that's been coming through in sessions. And that is for us to change the way that we remember traumatic things that have happened in our life. And it's really, really the message that I keep getting is for us to not feel like a victim, even though whatever happened, we feel like should not have happened, right? It's understanding that it's looking at it differently, and it's saying, instead of saying that should have never happened to me, it's saying, why did that happen for me? What did I learn from that? How did that change me? How did that shape me? And is there something that I need to heal from that? It's also looking at the situation that whatever, especially from childhood, whatever those adults were that were in that situation, recognizing them as unhealed individuals and recognizing that it was not their actions were not a reflection of us. Their actions were a reflection of their unhealed trauma. Mm-hmm. And the more that we can take each individual memory, every traumatic memory, and we can look at it in a different light, it helps to heal it. It helps for us to let go, and it helps for us to forgive, because as soon as you stop feeling like they did that to me, then you start to change the energy around that, and you start recognizing what can I pull out of that? What that happened for me. What do I need to get from that?
Yep.
I mean, you could see it in a chart sometimes too, where sometimes you just have a nasty transit and you have a hard time and then it passes. And it's knowing that, energy comes in waves, even if you don't understand it astrologically. There's good times, there's bad times, there's chaotic times, there's calm times. So with astrology, you could kind of look at the weather and see what you're up against, and you could see how to use it to your advantage. Like, oh, okay, there may be some turbulence in that area. Well, this is what I'm going to do about it. And you could be a little bit prepared for it. I mean, it's always working for you, even if it doesn't seem that way. And sometimes, it takes a whole Jupiter cycle. Jupiter goes around the zodiac every 12 years, and something may happen, at a time in your life. And you're like, well, what was that about? And then Jupiter comes around 12 years later, and it's like, oh, now I understand what that is about. I mean, Lynn, you could see this thing as in tarot too. I'm sure this comes up for you a lot.
For sure. And I mean, tarot has astrological significances connected to the cards too, but certainly if I'm doing readings for groups of people at a party or an event, there's always like the party card or the party cards that no matter who takes the deck or how many times you shuffle it, it's the same couple cards that refer to these same themes over and over again. And oftentimes they are things that correspond to the major astrological transits. I know earlier this year, I had an event where I would read like 50 people a night. And it was when Saturn had first come into Aries before it retrograded back into Pisces. And it was like everybody and their mother was like starting a business, starting a project, doing. And then as the Saturn retrograded back into Pisces, it was like they were stuck. And one thing that kept coming up in those readings was like, hey, you're going to move forward and then you're going to feel like you got stuck. You didn't get stuck. That's just what the energy's doing. Wait for a couple months, 2026, things move forward again. Um, One of the things that I find so fascinating about this type of energy work and intuitive work is how closely it mirrors like just plain psychology. If you were going to go to a therapist, the things that your therapist tells you, like, hey, you feel bad, you can get rid of that bad feeling if you change your perspective, if you change the way you look at things. And then we have what, like the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. It's like, hey, pain and suffering, it's part of the gig, and you feel uncomfortable when you want things to be a different way, and you could get rid of that uncomfortable feeling by following the Eightfold Path, which is basically just align yourself in a way to see things positively. I think, like Jamie, what you were saying before is, they didn't do this to me. It's just they did it, and I can take myself out of that equation and stop feeling like a victim and stop feeling like it's about me and it's about me being hurt and just saying, hey, to Jeanette's point, it's part of life. Bad things happen, good things happen, but I can retain my energy sovereignty regardless of what's going on around me.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know like during Jupiter and Gemini, we had of like a lot of good with the bad, and it made us see both sides. And then once Jupiter later on went into Cancer, we felt a lift. You know what I mean? So we get good times too. So even though there's times where it's like, all right, this isn't the best, then we have times that are really good. I felt like the summer was really good for a lot of people. There was Uranus was in Gemini. He loves being in Gemini because it's just about opening your mind and seeing things differently and elevating your perspective. He's going to be doing that again end of April. But yeah, I also like Jamie's point with the whole I am not a victim. I feel like I was saying about like forgiveness, like being able to let that go and be like, you know what? It served my greatest good somehow. I'll figure it out later. That's usually what astrology is for. Like you'll have one transit now, it doesn't make sense, but then like down the road you correlate it and it's like, oh, okay, that's what the universe was trying to tell me with this experience. It takes a while.
Knowing when those planets return is incredibly helpful. I mean, as soon as you start saying, oh, hey, this planet takes 12 years, this planet takes 2 years, this planet takes, it's so easy to look back on your life and see what you were doing and what you were wrestling with and how those themes really do return. I mean, we really do have this like built-in check system to see how we're doing.
Yeah, astrology is like a map for like what the energy is going to do to us. And it just helps us understand what's going on. Like, for example, right now is Mercury retrograde. How many people's plans got screwed up over the past 2 or 3 weeks? It happens, but it's supposed to happen because you weren't supposed to be there, and that's okay. It's like, oh, wait, I thought I knew what I was doing. We're gonna go back and re-look at that, and maybe I could have done this better. So I love retrogrades. I think they're great.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
I was wondering.
Yeah, this Mercury retrograde was a doozy because it was in Sagittarius, which is a very scatterbrained sign for Mercury, to Scorpio, where it's like such a need to control, but in retrograde, it's like, well, you have no control, and you realize that, the power, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the power is in not having control sometimes, and just letting it be and being content with what is. It's such a powerful thing to do, but you wouldn't see it that way. You would think it's the opposite.
Well, I look forward to our conversations in a couple weeks when we'll talk about the energies of coming in 2026 in more detail because that's going to be super fascinating. I know I'm looking forward to it because, I think it all helps us to understand like what we're walking into in 2026. I know Jamie, you're talking about it that we're gonna like hit the ground running, and Jeanette, you kind of tapped on, touched in on that, but I think we'll get into a more detailed look at that as in a couple weeks when we getting closer to the first of the year. So yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back.
Yes, we will. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you for anybody who's watched it this far. And we appreciate you joining us. And we look forward to our next conversation. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.